Hello and welcome to For You at Rider. I'm Gianna Diaz and I will be your friendly face for tonight's show as we venture into the fundamentals of Rider University's Communication and Journalism Department. Through tonight's show, you will see how students are getting more involved to gain much needed experience with the help of dedicated faculty. Let's begin with an overview of the Communication and Journalism Department.
Hi, this is Amy Edson, and today I'll be teaching you the fundamentals of the Communication and Journalism Department. The department is more than a carpeted hallway in the Fine Arts Building, mood-lit classrooms, and interesting people. It is fast-paced, and professors are always challenging students to advance their skills. Students are offered 6 tracks and 1 minor, which include
graphic design,
Multimedia Communication,
news editorial journalism,
Public Relations,
radio and television,
speech and interpersonal communication,
minor in event planning.
Department faculty have years of experience and numerous accomplishments in their fields. Students will be working with people like Dr. Barry Janes, who has produced, directed, or written over 100 video productions, and Dr. E. Graham McKinley, author of Beverly Hills 90210. Besides for distinction in their fields, these professors are dedicated to the success of their students. Classes are small in size to allow professors the ability to give ample assistance where it is needed. Most professors give both lectures and hands-on experience so students get the most out of their time while still in the classroom.
I like to lecture in the beginning of the class for a certain amount of time, but I also like to give students time to work during the class meeting. So I don't give a lot of homework. I like to have the students do the work while we're there. That way I could help them more and look at what they're doing and see if there are ways that I can help them improve right then.
The technical facilities, where many of these classes are held, offer the most advanced equipment and software available, including 8 editing suites in the television studio and industry-standard multimedia software in the department's 2 journalism labs. Students feel that this technology can only help them for their future careers.
The communication department here is really up to date. They're very technologically advanced, and I think that's really helpful for us, so when we graduate, we're on the same level as the workforce.
To further their experience while still in school, students can take part in a number of internships offered through the university.
Originally, I was going to pursue a career in TV and radio, but after interning over the summer at a major PR company, I decided public relations would be my best bet. I actually had a lot of fun there. It's never the same every day, it's changing. It's just a great experience all around.
All students who are eligible should apply to be part of Lambda Pi Eta, the Communication and Journalism Department Honor Society.
It's really good because it shows that you take the initiative, you're important with your studies, you get involved with your major in ways outside of the classroom. Also, it's good for your resume.
So, if you're looking to leave Rider University with knowledge, experience, and a portfolio from an award-winning department, maybe you should consider studying communication and journalism. This has been Amy Edson for You at Rider.
Now that you've been enlightened on the basics of the Communication and Journalism Department, you're probably eager to get more involved. Don't worry, we'll get back to that later. More to come after this short break.
I'm not really sure actually. I haven't actually had to, I haven't really needed help with anything, so I don't really know exactly what they offer.
Luxurious. Convenient. Equipped. Beautiful. Home. Avalon Run Apartment Community. Rider students don't just live here, they're happy here.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey, I'm gonna get you too.
Welcome back. Rarely do students graduate with a degree in the field they started with. chances are at some point you questioned whether or not you were pursuing the right future for you. For those who do want to change their major, there isn't a step-by-step process online. But changing your track is simple and painless to do.
If you find yourself falling asleep in class, it might be time for you to switch your track, don't you think?
Well, how do I do that?
It's simple. Just follow these steps. Ask your advisor for the change major form. If they don't have one, see Administrative Associate Mary Kilday in Fine Arts Room 283. She will definitely have the form for you. Just fill out the form. Don't forget to include what your old track was and what you want your new track to be. Next, bring your completed form to Dr. Jonathan Millen to be signed. He's the chairperson of the Communications Department. His office is also located in Fine Arts 283. Now that it's signed, head on over to the Registrar's office, located downstairs in the Fine Arts Building. The Registrar will take care of the rest, and you've officially changed your track. Enjoy!
Thinking about it, maybe I want to change my track. A special interview with Department Chairperson Dr. Jonathan Millen when we return.
I haven't seen much, but from what I've seen being with my friend editing, there's a lot of stuff. It looks very advanced, like just sitting around his shoulder watching like how much like just like video editing that you can put into like certain things and how much like options there are for like students here. It's very extensive. Thumbs up. Hey, okay.
Are you kidding me? Is this a joke?
What happened?
Man, I lost all my privileges to rent, and I had to find $25 again. It's my third time now.
Recently, I got a chance to sit down and discuss the Communication and Journalism Department with Dr. Jonathan Millen, chairperson and advisor to Rider's very own hockey team. Hello, everyone. I am here with Dr. Millen, a professor in the Communication and Journalism Department here at Rider University, and I will be asking him a few questions about the department. How are you, Dr. Millen?
I'm doing well, thank you. And you?
I'm doing great. To start off, how did you get started in the communication and journalism field?
I started actually as an undeclared major when I was an undergraduate, and I was looking to do a semester exchange at the University of North Carolina. And in order to do that, you had to have a major declared, and I had one communication course that I really enjoyed, so I declared that as my major, never really intending to keep it, but I actually enjoyed it so much that I stayed with it throughout my undergraduate career.
Oh, okay. And what exactly is your official job title and role in the Department of Communication and Journalism?
Well, in addition to being a professor in the department, I'm also now serving as chairperson.
Oh, okay. And what are some of your duties and responsibilities as chairperson of the Communication and Journalism Department?
I'm really in charge of all aspects of running the department, and that includes everything from staffing courses to taking care of the budget to addressing student concerns, as well as bringing all faculty interest back up the chain of command to the deans and provost offices.
Oh, okay. Some major responsibilities there. For the years you've been at Rider, how have you seen the department change to better accommodate students?
Well, I started at Rider in the fall of 1991, and there have been a lot of changes since that time. Some of the changes have been very small, such as the name of the department used to just be the Department of Communications, and we've expanded the name to Communication and Journalism to better reflect the programs that we offer, and we offer a lot more programs now than we used to. We used to have just a handful of options, and now we have 4 different offerings in the communication major and 2 offerings in the journalism major, as well as a host of minor programs as well. And in addition to that, the technology in the department really has grown tremendously in the time that I've been here.
Okay. And as a student, I have seen the drastic changes also from my freshman year up until now, so it's a big improvement in the department. While we are on the topic of changes here at Rider, recently a new minor has been added to the curriculum. It is the Sports and Society minor. What is the significance of adding this new minor, and do you think it will attract students from other majors?
Yeah, it's a very good question. The addition of Professor Moore to our department is really the impetus for this new program. But I should point out that it's a minor that will be an interdisciplinary program actually housed in the College of Business. So it's not really within our curriculum, though our courses will be part of that program. So it's a joint effort between business and the Communication and Journalism department. That being said, I think it will be very quickly one of the most popular minors on campus, and I think it will attract students from all disciplines.
And I also think that is a great idea in combining and trying to get students together and just for them to get more of an experience overall in college.
Right.
What advice can you offer students who are majoring in the communication or journalism field?
Well, that's a perfect follow-up, because I think having a minor in today's day and age is absolutely imperative. It's not enough just to know your craft or your field, but really how to apply it within a specific context. So, for example, the advertising minor is a great option, and the event planning and production minor is growing in its popularity as well. So students are learning that developing their communication skills and expertise is one thing, but having an area in which they can apply that more specifically is really what's going to make them more marketable in the long run.
Okay. In your eyes, what does the future hold for the department?
The future is really limitless, and that's not just the department, it's really the field. With all of the changes taking place in communication and journalism, it's hard to imagine where we're going to be in 5 years, let alone beyond that. But I think the one theme that everybody is in agreement upon that really will define us is convergence. And that is, instead of looking at journalism and communication as separate entities, it's really understanding how they overlap, how television and radio overlap with multimedia, how multimedia informs public relations, how public relations necessitates interpersonal skills. And we see these various programs that we offer really interacting and being more interdependent than ever before. And that's something that we need to be prepared to embrace fully as a department.
Okay, and I also agree with you as well, and I think it is essential for any person who is involved in communication or journalism in general. Okay, once again, thank you, Dr. Millen, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today and giving us some insider information on how faculty members sees the Department of Communication and Journalism here at Rider.
It's a pleasure.
We would like to thank Dr. Millen once again for that very informative and insightful interview. It is always a pleasure to have someone such as Dr. Millen discuss thoroughly what the department is all about. Finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, how you, as a student, can become more involved and experienced. That and more to come after this commercial break.
I'd say some of the resources that Rider has to offer here is something as simple as the studio to the editing rooms. I feel like they're really technologically advanced with all the equipment that they have here. I know the computers here are really top notch. They got the dual monitors, which is real nice, and the Final Cut Pro and the GarageBand and Soundtrack Pro. Those are all real nice programs to work with.
All right, boys, last shot of the night, last call.
Let's go.
Yeah, 1:30, fellas. Drink up. That's a joke.
One last guy! Hey! Yeah! God, yeah, I can drive. I can't drive.
Why don't we just take a cab? Oh, no! You guys are stuck for a ride. Why don't you just call Safe Rides?
Good call!
Are you tired of living in the same old boring dorm room? Then maybe moving into an off-campus house is the way to go. Living off-campus allows you to cook what you want and when you want in your very own personal kitchen. Also, your business is finally your business in your very own bathroom. Most importantly, privacy.
The faculty of the department is always offering new ways for the students to prepare for their future. WRRC, Rider University Network, and the Rider News are 3 on-campus outlets for students to get involved. All are a lot of fun but require hard work and dedication. In the end, the payoff is well worth it. Maybe you would like to be a DJ or the program director of your area's #1 hit station. WRRC is a great place to get your start.
Hello, I'm Ben Cohen, For You at Rider, here to let you know about some changes that have been happening at the school radio station. Rider University's student-run radio station, 107.7 FM WRRC, has recently changed its name to 107.7 FM The Bronx. Rider has had its own radio station since 1962, when it launched as WRCR and was on 640 AM. The call letters changed to WWRC in 1965, and the current call letters of WRRC have been used since 1992. The station had been on 88.5 until 1992, when it was moved to 107.7 FM to make room for WXPN in Philadelphia. In October of 2008, 107.7 FM took on the name The Bronx, but the call letters remain at WRRC. First-year station manager John Moses talked about why the school radio station decided to go through with a name change.
Main reasons for the name change here on 107.7 The Bronx is kind of wanted to give the station a new identity with the university. The student executive staff I have here at 107.7 The Bronx did such a great job in taking the station to the next level. Want to be able to identify the radio station with the university more. So, here on campus, everything's either Cranberry or the Bronx. So what better way to incorporate WRRC more with the university than as 107.7 The Bronx? We developed a new logo as well, which is in Cranberry. So this way it gives 107.7 The Bronx, WRRC, a more sense of community and being makes it more a part of the university as a whole. That's really what our goal was.
Currently, about 50 students have their own radio shows. In addition, starting in 2008-2009, 107.7 FM is now the home of Rider basketball on the radio. When students aren't having shows or there isn't a basketball game going on, the music playing on 107.7 FM resembles a hot adult contemporary format, unlike most college radio stations, which play mostly alternative music. John Moses talked about what he believes will happen in the future with 107.7 The Bronx.
You know what? The future at 107.7 The Bronx is extremely bright here at Rider University. I think our future plans are, there's a lot. There's a lot of things that we want to do here at the university. We're now partnered with Rider Athletics and broadcasting Bronx basketball games. I'd like to broadcast more athletics, maybe wrestling or something else as part of the university. But I think the next step that we're going to take here at 107.7 The Bronx is to get our station streamed on the internet, develop our own website, and have students be able to listen to us no matter where they go, especially with the Wi-Fi capabilities here at Rider University. So whether they're on campus mall or in their dorm room or at Dailies or at SRC, they'll be able to, click on our website, click on our stream, and listen to us wherever they are on campus. So 107.7 The Bronx can be more than just a signal on a radio signal. What we can be is we can compete then with every other radio station on the World Wide Web as 107.7 The Bronx. That's really our next goal, our next step. We can do student blogging, we can do all kinds of cool things, contests and more, all via the web, and really make 107.7 The Bronx more a part of the student community.
Students on campus can listen to The Bronx on either 107.7 FM or on Channel 17 on their on-campus television lineup. Reporting for You at Rider, this has been Ben Cohen.
Does radio not appeal to you? Perhaps your interests lay in filming, editing, or production. If so, you should check out the Rider University Network.
Located on the second floor of the Fine Arts Building here on campus, the Rider TV studio is a key asset to the Department of Communications students and faculty.
Unknown to most of the Rider population, there are many useful tools for communications students to use behind the Rider TV studio doors. Whether it is the state-of-the-art television studio and control room, the editing studios, or the equipment available for students to use for video projects in the field, the studio has all the aspects necessary to get experience in radio and television production.
Rider TV studio offers communication students and the university a lot of different things. One, for students, it really gives them a chance to experiment with television production and to learn a little bit about the specific skills necessary to be successful in TV production.
Students can also take part in the Rider University Network, which is a closed-circuit channel broadcast throughout Rider's campus.
For instance, we have a news show, and students could get involved in that. And basically, we have them rise up through the ranks like in anything else. We'll have them start in a lower-end production role and work their way up into producing programs like that. So that kind of experience, I think, really gives them the chance to find out what working in TV is like. And I realize that the Rider University Network is a small station, and we're only seen on campus, but we try to model what we do after the real world.
Here on the set of the TV studio, there are many great technological pieces that students can get experience with, where they participate in the roles of cameraman, on-camera talent, director, and technical director.
After students film their work, they have access to 8 state-of-the-art editing rooms where they can digitize their footage using professional equipment. All the editing rooms are equipped with Macintosh computers and Apple Final Cut Pro editing software. Using Final Cut, students can create video pieces that mimic what professional production specialists put together in the real world. Also housed in the TV studio is a closet filled with a range of equipment to shoot video in the field. There are different types of cameras for any given student's ability, along with other useful tools for video production. All a communication student has to do is come to the studio and notify a lab assistant that they want to check something out. The lab assistant will help them fill out a form so they can take out the video equipment they need for up to 1 day. The equipment is constantly used by students to complete projects for class.
The best way to get involved with us is to just stop by. We're on the 2nd floor in the Fine Arts Building. There's always someone here. Stop by, say hi, and we'll get you involved.
As you can see, the television studio here at Rider is a key tool for communication students to have at their disposal. It gives students real-world experience using professional equipment and will help them prepare for their futures.
Neither the radio station or television studio attracts your attention? We'll be back with the perfect place for you.
I think the television studio, because it's going to give students an understanding of what a real television studio will be, like when they get out to work for a job in network television, which is something I'm interested in.
I've read about it. I've seen it on TV. I've heard stories. But I never thought it could happen to me. It was supposed to be a fun time with friends. Have a few drinks here and there. Act a little crazy. Until he gave me that drink. I was a victim of date rape. Don't let it happen to you.
We just discussed the Rider radio station and the Rider network, but that may not be where some people hope to end up once they graduate with a communication and journalism degree. If that's the case, the Rider News is probably the place for you.
The Rider newspaper has been in existence since 1930. We're going to take a deeper look into what it has to offer in 2008. The Rider News is published once a week, every Friday throughout the year. It includes national news, local news, upcoming Rider events, opinions, arts and entertainment, and sports. I asked junior communication major Matt Metzger whether or not he thought the newspaper should be published more often than just once a week.
I think once a week is good. There's not that much going on campus where I think you could really fill the pages that they fill and put as much effort into much news that they put in now once a week. So I think once a week is good. I also think that since it is a student-run organization and the writers and the editors and everything like that are students here at Rider, I think with the course load and other activities they might be involved with, I think once a week really sets the bar high and really gives them a chance to do everything they might need to do during the week.
The journalism labs, located on the 2nd floor of the Fine Arts Building, are a hotspot for aspiring writers of the Rider News, and it allows students to access computers at their convenience. Once again, Matt shed some light on how students view the Rider News and how it appeals to the student body here at Rider.
It's very informative. It gives us a chance to see what's going on campus, what's going on off campus. I like reading the athletics part of it during when we get to the sports pages, just because it gives me a chance to see how our sports teams are doing in the MAC conference and things like that. So it's very informative.
Rider's Communication and Journalism Department offers a wide variety of activities, like the Rider News, to help their students gain experience for the real world.
Really, any department here in the communications department, whether it's the newspaper, the TV studio, or the radio station, I think all three of those give the student body a really good chance to get their feet wet in using pieces of equipment and using different terminologies, things like that, getting them ready for the real world. I know working in the TV studio and the radio station has gotten me more comfortable with an editing system like Final Cut and using some of the equipment down at the radio station. So I think all three of those programs really do a great job of getting the student body and the communication majors specifically ready for a job in that field.
Matt gave a student perspective of what is liked.
And I love reading the athletics part. I'm a big sports guy. I like seeing how our teams are doing. I like seeing the athletes. I like seeing how they're doing in the conference, things like that.
And disliked about the Rider News.
Saying something along the lines of that all kids do at Rider is party and get drunk and go out and everyone doesn't, no one gets good grades and things like that, where it's the exact opposite. A lot of kids here are academically focused. But I just think that's one section that I would like to see changed.
If you are interested in becoming a writer for the Rider News, weekly meetings are held in the basement of Ridge House, located near the lake on Rider University's campus. As you can see, the Rider News is a big part of the Rider community, not just for the Rider student body, but for everyone here. I'm Tom DeRizio for 4U at Rider. Back to you, Gianna.
While Rider offers 3 great creative venues that will give you the groundwork for a future in media, nothing prepares you like real-life experience. Luckily, Rider has an outstanding internship program.
Well, how I tell the students is think about it as you find a part-time job or a summer job. You go out and look for leads and you take upon those leads and you apply for them. What I want students to do with internships is the same thing. There's a lot of resources. You can find listings for internships. So they're going to apply for them. They're going to find out about the internships. And then once they have an idea of where they want to intern, then they come to me and we talk about what they do academic-wise. There are some students who can't get an internship, but they try. Those who are looking for internships can't get them, but try. What I'll do then is help them out by hopefully putting them in contact with a business that is looking for an intern. What I don't want to do is have somebody just show up at my door and say, give me an internship. Yes, they can get the credit anywhere from 1 credit, which is 50 hours, or 4 credit, which is 200 hours. Most of them take it for 3 credits, just like they would a class. It acts as an elective with 3 credits. So what it is 50 hours equal 1 credit. So a 3 credit class means you're going to put in about 150 hours or so with that employer. Well, if they're looking for a summer internship, what I would say is right before spring break. If they're looking for a fall internship, somewhere near the end of the spring semester, the beginning of the summer time. And if they're looking for a fall internship, somewhere in the summer as well.
Well, I was, a junior looking for an internship, and I was in a class, and my professor had mentioned that there was some openings for the Trenton Film Festival. They were looking for interns, and I'm a communications TV radio major, but I'm also a film and media studies minor. So it was definitely something I was interested in. It was something different that I hadn't done before. I want to go into film, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to meet some filmmakers, see what goes into student films and independent films. So she brought it up in class, and I applied. I went for an interview at the person who ran it, their office, and I worked there for my spring semester junior year. It was a really good experience. It wasn't like a group thing. I was pretty much by myself for most of it, but I learned a lot. I pretty much learned how to run a film festival because he didn't have many interns. He had 2 or 3, and we would all be working separate days. So when we were working alone. So we were dealing with the problems like on our own. There were 3 of us, and everybody had kind of a job. The other 2 really stuck to like PR and getting the word about the festival out there. I took care of the internal things. Like I dealt with the filmmakers the most, and if they had issues, they called me. So I really knew like the ins and outs of the whole festival, and that was a really exciting experience. And then to be able to go to the festival and see all the work we did over the past months was pretty exciting.
WRRC run the Rider News and internships. Looks like you're prepared to enter the real world now, but it might still be frightening. We have the solution to put those fears to rest. When we come back, an exclusive interview with a Rider alumnus.
Well, the resources that Rider has for students are basically clubs and organizations. We have the Rider University network that I'm part of. Basically, it's a television network that we have, and students have the opportunity to work on shows. You know, we used to have the News at Rider. We have RiderNet right now, the Sports Corner, MIA, and we also have the radio station. First year students could actually have their own radio show, and there's also the J Lab, where a lot of journalism students are news reporting and journalism students are actually use that room to create news stories and work on their projects. So there's a lot of resources that we have.
We meet again.
Bored at Rider University? Think there's nothing to do in Mercer County? Well, then you've never been to the Princeton Battlefield, a great place to go with your friends if you're looking to explore, sit back and relax, or walk a nature trail. For the guys, lots of open space to play sports. If you want to learn more about your county, visit the historic Mercer Oak Tree or any of the other historic sites at this remarkable park. A day of excitement waits for you just 5 minutes north of Rider University.
I'm here with Nick DeRizio, a Rider alumni, and we are interviewing him on life after Rider. How you doing today, Nick?
I'm doing fantastic, Tom. How are you?
I'm great. Can you just give us some background information on how old you are, when you graduated from Rider, and where you work now?
I am 25 years old. I graduated in December of '05. I work in pharmaceuticals now as what is called a data analyst.
During your 4 years at Rider, what were some of the things you did to gain experience in your field?
Well, I took an internship with the ECHL, which is a AA minor league hockey league. And I was also a part of the Rider hockey team. I acted as vice president for 2 years. So I was involved in delegating to school officials, working with Doc Millen for various administrative tasks. So I think that just kind of built up my interpersonal skills. That's they're crucial when you get into the workplace.
Would you say professors here at Rider University played a pivotal role in you getting a job and being successful after college?
Absolutely. I mean, the professors here were all great. Dr. Shah, Dr. Millen, Dr. Simonet, all those guys they really instilled like a passion in writing, which I had when I was enrolled here.
When you entered your senior year, did you have the fear that most of us do of graduating after college? And if so, did anybody in particular help you?
Well, honestly, when I was in school, I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to actually get a job when you come out of college. It's real competitive. So in that respect, I mean, I was always told it was tough, but it's tough to listen to people saying that to you when you're not actually in the job market. But you realize how hard it is when you got there. But I know Doc Millen really was was the number one contact I had to go to for questions about jobs, and he was able to help me post-graduation.
When you received your degree here at Rider, what was it like to be out in the real world?
It was December of '05, like I said. I took my internship right after that graduation, which took me throughout the summer. I moved back home, and that was a really tough transition, man. It was leaving college and just moving home with the folks it's tough. I mean, I have a great home life, but it's rough transitioning that way. As far as the job market's concerned, like I said, I wasn't ready for how tough it actually was, and it took me a while to find a job. I have a job now, so all's good.
Once again, we would just like to thank Nick for taking time out of his schedule to speak with us and give us a little insider information on how to get a job after we graduate.
As you can see, here at Rider, past students always seem to make their way back on campus to shed some light on what life after Rider is all about. Well, that is all we have for tonight. I do hope you all enjoyed tonight's special of For You at Rider and exploring what the Communication and Journalism Department here at Rider is all about. I'm Gianna Diaz, signing off and wishing everyone a good night.